Debbie's unexpected victory in the Democratic primaries of New Hampshire has sparked outrage in the establishment of both the Democratic and Republican parties, who expected Vice President Scoop to coast to an easy path to the Democratic Party's nomination. Soon, money begins pouring into Debbie's election fund, causing it to swell to over $30 million. But at the same time on social media,
as a Christian, I don't feel comfortable with the idea of an atheist as my next president.
The U.S. Constitution does not say the president cannot be atheist. In fact, it says that no religious test can ever be used to determine if someone is fit for public office. You are a bigot.
What kind of presidential candidate promotes her campaign by singing and dancing at rock concerts? That's ridiculous.
The kind that wants to appeal to young people like me. She is actually old herself, but I am drawn to her because she seems as loving and wise as my own grandmother. And she gets people like me. She wants a better future for people like me long after she is gone, instead of just thinking about the present day and what benefits only her generation. Whitney, I have decided to appoint you to be my campaign manager, freeing me to focus more on writing speeches and adding posts to www.debbiesmithforpresident.com. You did the same job for my mother when she first ran for mayor of this town. That, and creating the America for All online news network, is why Carrie and I returned to live here again. Sure, I am happy to help you. And because of my Christian background, I have an idea on how to make your campaign more appealing.
And a couple of weeks later, Debbie attends a rally in Oklahoma City, the very place her own mother was born.
I am completely dedicated to opposing all forms of bigotry. I think all of us should be judging each other strictly as individuals. Let me tell you a story from the book of Genesis. One day, the patriarch Abraham was living in a tent with his wife Sarah when he saw 3 men approaching him, and he realized they were God and 2 of his angels. So Abraham invited these men in and treated them like honored guests. After eating dinner together, God sent the angels away and he talked with Abraham alone. God said, "I have heard that the people of Sodom are extremely wicked, but I want to be sure before I act against them." Abraham knew that his nephew Lot lived in Sodom, so he asked, "Will you destroy the righteous along with the wicked? What if there are 50 good people there?" God said, "Then for the sake of that 50, I will not destroy the city." Then God said, "Will you destroy the city if there are 40 good people there?" And again, God said, "For the sake of the 40, I will not destroy the city." Then Abraham said, "Will you destroy that city if only 30 good people are there?" And again, God said no. Abraham then said, "Lord, please do not be angry, but I have to ask. What if there are just 20 good people in Sodom?" And once again, God said no. And finally, Abraham said, "Lord, please do not be angry, but what if there are only 10 good people there?" And God finally said, "For the sake of the 10, I will not destroy the city." Of course, later in the story, God did destroy Sodom. But not before the 2 angels he was with before saved Lot and his daughters. Indeed, no good people were left behind to die in the city, just as God promised Abraham. Here's the thing to remember. People generally assume that nearly all white people in the South are racist, and they wonder why did President Lincoln fight so hard to force the states that formed the Confederacy during the American Civil War back into the Union? Why not just let them go? Sure, it was about fighting to end slavery in the South, but I'd like to think that it was also about saving the few non-racists among Southern whites. After all, I am a white person from a southern state, Texas, and I am not only not racist, I am as anti-racist as it gets. I have a son, Richard, who is black, and I will fight for his rights, and those of Richard's 2 gay and black fathers, just as much as for my own as a white lesbian. Ironically, the idea behind woke ideology is this: no one ever gets left behind, period. What's the point of fighting against racism to benefit blacks if black women are not included? Shouldn't we also fight against sexism too? And if we also fight sexism, Shouldn't we also fight homophobia too, or is it acceptable to leave black gays and black lesbians behind? And also, what about transphobia? Do we think it proper to leave transgender blacks behind? And some blacks are Muslim, right? Including one of my cousins by marriage, Scott Mueller. Should he be left behind? Even as an atheist, I can't accept that because merely being Muslim does not hurt me. Now, if you want to talk about how horrible Muslim authorities on the other side of the world are to women, that's a different issue. It has nothing to do with how we should treat ethnic or religious minorities or other marginalized people here in the United States. Yes, including undocumented immigrants. Do not persecute them for just coming here to live. As long as they are peaceful and harm no one else, they should be welcome. Support me, and I will fight for you. That's what I mean by the slogan America for All. Let it be so.
She is an atheist, yet she quotes from the Bible and makes a moral lesson out of one of its stories to support her hardcore progressive ideology. Amazing!
Well, it helps to have a campaign manager who is also the granddaughter of a Baptist minister and knows exactly how to expose the hypocrisy of so-called conservative Christians out there, like my own grandfather was.